Hey, it's the Midnight Raven, and today we are looking at the ghost story of Murder on the Menu. So, if you've whipped up an appetite before watching this, then welcome to my channel. You are in for a treat. So, today we are looking at Murder on the Menu. This is a ghost story featuring an innkeeper and his wife, and a devilish food. So, the innkeeper Laszlo Kronenberg and his wife faced a bleak future in the little Hungarian town of Tizakert. I'm sorry if that's pronounced wrong. It was in 1990 the couple had spent all of their savings trying to keep their inn afloat. Throughout the Great War, they had obviously had many tragedies, and the food and the place was struggling to keep going. Other tragedies would happen to them. Their daughter would run away to Budapest and become a prostitute. Their eldest son had also run away at just the age of 9 years old. So they had faced a lot, including the fact that their other two sons had also died during the war. So this family during the war had suffered loss. They were in debt, they were struggling, they'd lost their children, some had run away, some had died, but the couple at this point was still together. The couple decided their only hope to keep their family afloat was murder for profit. So they prepared a plan of action. Their killings were going to be kept under wraps. Obviously, with a great war, maybe they could kill under the radar. So, between 1919 and 1912, they had killed 10 people. They would use strychnine crystals to poison them, and they would also dig trenches in the wood and fill it with quicklime to try and mask the graves and to mask the bodies and to also to get them to decompose quicker. So the inn that they had would be the place of all the killings. In all the cases, they had had great wine, a lovely dinner, but it was laced with strychnine crystals, just to give it that je ne sais quoi. Um, the pit that they buried the people in, when the last victim was killed, would be filled completely in, never to be spoken about again. So, the last murder. The last murder was of a mid-30s man. He was a salesman for years. He'd come to the inn and Susie had offered him a cooked meal. Why would you turn down a cooked meal? You've been traveling, you've had a long day, a free meal sounds like a plan. So they would go to dinner and they would be chatting about traveling. And the more and more they spoke to this man, they become reluctant to kill him. They needed the finances, they needed the money, but they didn't want to kill this guy. But at the last minute, they changed their minds. They had gone to the basement to pick up a nice wine to go with the rest of the dinner. They would lace it with the crystals. Susie would give it to him, and he would die shortly after. After the man had died, they decided to, as course, if he was already dead, let's just fleece his stuff. So they were rummaging through this man's bag and came across some gold coins, which is what they were hoping for, some riches, some money. But as they continued to search through the bag, they discovered a snapshot picture of the couple, i.e., Susie and her husband. The couple was shocked by this and wondered why this young man had a picture of them in his bag. It was discovered that they had actually killed their son. The son that had run away when he was 9 years old had come back home, maybe not wanting to tell the parents straight off that he was their long lost son, but taking pity on this man who had travelled, they obviously gave him dinner, looked after him, but because the boy didn't disclose that he was their long lost son, they murdered him. So they put the items back into his clothes, put his stuff back in his bag. They went back to the dining room and they writ a confession of the crimes. They laid the confession next to their dead son, and days later, the couple were found by neighbors dead in their house with their supposed long lost son, who they had killed. Few people over the years went into the house, as the house is now believed to be haunted by at least 13 shadowy figures. These were the people that the couple had killed over the years. They sit around the dining table, and at the head of the table is their dead son. The house was burned down by an arsonist in September 1980, and no one has ever spoke of seeing ghostly shadows in that area since. So this is a terrible tale. It's a tale of murder, a loss of a family member through the war, a loss of people from running away due to the turbulent times, a reuniting of a family, only to know that you've just killed your son. Obviously, Laszlo and his wife Susie didn't know at that point that this man sitting before them at the dinner table was their son. And if they had, would they have still killed him for the riches? That would be the question that you should ask. Would they have still killed him had they have known their son had returned, knowing he had a small fortune? So, who is to say in this case whether Laszlo and Susie were right in murdering for profit? It was a terrible time. You had the Great War. They'd already lost most of their family, and I guess they thought they had nothing else to lose apart from they were wrong. When their son returned many years later, they would lose the one thing they had left apart from their daughter, who was still missing, was the fact that they killed their own son. And then, through guilt, they took their own lives and writ a confession, confessing to killing their son. It doesn't say whether the confession says they killed 13 other people. It does say they confessed to killing their son. But I think with the fact that the place is supposedly haunted by 13 people who mysteriously went missing after staying there, I think it's pretty obvious that they killed them too. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. This is the case of murder on the menu. Would you take dinner from a couple who were strangers to you? Would you risk having strychnine crystals killing you over a small meal? Would you take dinner from a stranger? Let me know down below. If you want to like, subscribe, I will put a playlist up here for all my other ghost stories. And if you want to join me on my journey into the depths of ghosts and paranormal and death, join me on Instagram as well for more content every day. Like and subscribe, support the channel, and I will see you very soon for another video. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye guys.